Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and this is my tomato plants. Mark Creel challenged me to grow some tomato plants because his was so beautiful and so much fun to look at. Call him his peeps. Well, my peeps are looking hard. They're looking tough. I don't know. You got new plants coming out, but they all just look like they're dying all over the place. Got one back there that died completely. Hey man, I may not be a farmer. You know what I mean? So anyway, listen. Sun's coming up, and before it starts to burn the motorhome, I wanted to have a video, get at least the start of a video, probably going to be 3 to 4 parts here. But this is going to be about the interior, the dash, and the driver's side of the dash. After I did the video about the passenger side to save that pad if you want to try to use the original dash, I had so many comments. Well, tell me about the other side. Oh, well, the gauges. Well, can you have a bunch of little, you know, anything's right. You can do anything you want to do. And right now, this first video, I want to show you how to get in your dash, to get down and dirty with it. All right. After that, then we'll start. I've got to update my dash. I'll show you. And during that process, you can come with me. I have an old Mac dash base. Right. Well, look. Come on inside the office. Let's sit down and talk a few more minutes, and then we're going to go out and get jiggy. All right? Come on with me. Yeah, come on in the office here. Oh, yeah. All right, we got Osborne over here. He's going to come with us out there. Yep, you're open. All right, guys. Interior dash. When I started cars, the dash was the big deal to me. I'm going to show you something, and I'll post these pictures. This is everybody has their book, right? This is my Automotive baby book. Take a look at this one. This is my first car, 1973 Pinto station wagon. But if you'll take a look at that console in the middle, see, I had a T-shifter in there. I had 4 gauges mounted in the panel there. I really enjoyed the dash of it. I had it dropped. We were running SCCA auto cross, deep prepared with that baby. All right. So moving on about dashes. Here's the dash. This is the Mustang I built for Janie. And there's Janie. And you'll see the dash down there at the bottom. It's all the way down. All the way down. Yes, sir. Finally, in my Automotive baby book is, here we go. Yeah. This is a 1950 Plymouth Business Coupe. You can see the chain steering wheel. And see, I had the dash actually sitting on a panel there, grinding it with a grinder. Love the dash. You can see over there to the right, no dash at all in the vehicle. And then finally, here's a picture, actually way back, 3 pictures taped together of working on a dash complete. And this is where we're going right here. We're going to go here with my dash here in a few minutes. So yeah, a dash to me is really important because you're staring at it the whole time. You'll fixate on some little thing, and you just want to change it. You want to be happy with what your dash was. Now, coming back from Utah, I was very, very happy with the dash I had, but it was kind of messy. But I did learn that I wanted some things in some places and some things in other places. And now's the time for me to do that. All right. And also the time for me to show you how to work on your dash. Whether you have an original dash or yours has been modified to a Mac dash, or maybe you have something other in between. I've seen a lot of really cool dashes. I've seen some that maybe should have been finished a little better. Right. I mean, in no means at all would I tell you that console in that Pinto station wagon was hot shit, but it 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 did the job. It gave me what I wanted and made me feel good for my driving. All right, well, look, enough of this. Let's go out. It's not quite hot yet. We're going to go out into the coach, and I'm going to show you guys how to take a dash apart. All right? We're going to go out there with weapons. There's mosquitoes in Florida. Let me tell you something. All right, so come on with me. We're going to go out there in the tropical desert and take a dash apart. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to JG. Sun's coming up over there, but we're protected temporarily by auspices of ZipD. So let's get on this. My dash, this is JG. This is a 1973 dash. All right, now the number. If your dash is beautiful and you're happy with where it is, there's only one modification that you really want to make. I mean, honestly, but everybody needs to do it. This is the panel for the front of the dash. All right, now you can see right here, it's cut out. You see that? The reason is this windshield is so close to the dash that that extra lip right there will prevent that dash from going in, right? But all you got to do is cut that right there. So you get a little close right here, but you leave the lip right there. Now watch. It slides right in there. Okay? And it slides right out. Okay? This one, of course, I covered it with my gator. You don't have to cover it. Most people will dye it, vinyl dye it. That's okay. This is an ABS plastic part. You want to be real careful with it. There's a screw in each corner, one here and one over here. Use a stubby Phillips to get this. Take those two off and this thing comes loose. Okay? Be careful with it because it's an important piece. It was amazing when we finally closed the co-op. I must have had 24 of these things because we were putting in Mac dashes where we're putting a whole new shell over it. And most of the dashes, like I told you in an earlier video, most of the dashes, I'm going to show you the plastic of this dash, and most of them are just cracked beyond belief. Most dashes are being held up by the steering column, to be honest with you. Okay? So when you go in your dash, understand this might happen. Okay? Okay, your tool of choice is a Phillips head screwdriver. I like these convertible ones because it keeps me a bunch of screw heads at the same time. All right. Now, when you look at your original dash, now this is a Mac dash. Okay, this is an old Mac dash base bezel that I incorporated into my system. Okay, if you have a Mac dash, you'll have perimeter screws all the way around here. Well, Phillips head, I think Mac uses black. I like silver, but there were perimeter screws all the way around it. Okay. On you guys that have an original dash, there are 5 Phillips screws right across the top. This is going into the plastic overlay. Okay. Take off your wiper control button. If you still have that, cherish that thing. Put a big piece of tape on it when you put it aside because those get lost. I don't know. There's some place on Mars, maybe the moon. There's a pile of those things. And if you do 3D, make one. 3D print one. We need them. Anyway, so you pull that off, right? Now, radio. Over the years, your original radio, you're going to pull that plastic panel off at that point, and it's a 2-shaft radio, and you're going to be taking it apart. In this application, of course, like in electronics, I have a double DIN radio, and the whole side here wasn't configured the way I wanted because I have the dash AC controls down there. I don't have them up here. So I made this panel in my dash. It comes out, that I have my radio in. As you see, this is the original cutout right here for the heater control, but I don't have a heater control. Mine's down there, so I don't need it. So I converted it with a panel. Of course, I put a beautiful faux gator on it, but a panel that covers that area. All right, now, so whatever radio is in your coach, you're going to need to pull it out. If it's in a Mac dash, it's probably going to be a DIN radio to have a faceplate and it'll snap out. There are a lot of different ways that the original DIN radios were set up. The double DIN radios, of course, take a lot more space, right? So do whatever you need to do to get the radio out. Okay, you could disconnect your cigarette lighter if that's connected. Now, look at your dash. On an original dash, you got the gauge cluster, you got your speedometer, and you've got some switches, all right? And you got a bunch of screws, and they're screwed to a metal panel. And that panel is absolutely harder than woodpecker lips. It is unbelievable what it takes to cut that metal panel. It's amazing to me that that metal panel is held up by these little plastic uprights I'm going to show you in a minute. Some of the times you'll break the plastic uprights trying to modify the panel. Crazy. So, but this is a Mac dash, all right? The Mac dash panel. And my dash has been cut out. So if you want to go from an original dash to a Mac dash, I'm going to show you, you're going to cut out the back. Now the Mac dash is served from the front. And it's a fly-by-wire. In other words, it doesn't have cables. It doesn't have a speedometer cable, which I've got mine disconnected already. It doesn't use a speedometer cable because it's using GPS. And all the other wires that are in the dash that I'm going to show you has a harness. I have Mac put a 24-inch harness on the dash. Why? Because I can take the dash and literally lay it in my lap and run all the functions of the dash and have it all nice and neat and clean and wired up, right? So if you do have Mac build you a dash, you tell him that you want it wired the way he does it for me. He'll chuckle and he knows what to do. He's going to put a harness. He's going to connect the harness. I'm going to show you, and he's going to add a 24-inch service loop. So you'll be able to take the harness, hold it up in the dash, connect it, and then when you're done, plug it in and slap it in the dash. All right. So here we are. This is the perimeter's disconnected, and now I'm getting ready to take out the Mac dash. Now it comes out from the front, the whole thing together. All the gauges are all together right there. All right. Now, as I told you, my dash is a a mess dash. I had an old Mac dash panel here, and I rewired it with, if you can see, all my gauges are all different. This is kind of like a mutt dash. It was all the gauges that I wanted over the years. Like this one is a dual air gauge. I really like that. This is a big full sweep oil pressure gauge, so I can really see deviations a lot. I like these full gauges, these full 320 degree gauges. So that's what I'm using. All right. So that's disconnected. This dash will come loose now. Okay. You guys that have older Mac dashes has a speedometer in there. You see that speedometer laying under back there or over here? Has a speedometer. Here it is, right there. Hand me that speedometer, would you? Here, let me get it. Here we go. This is the speedometer. This speedometer had a ticking sound, which is not unusual that you'll have over the years. So we're gonna replace this speedometer in my dash. All right. So we want to get this thing out. Bring your shift all the way down. And what I'm going to do is quite seriously extract this dash bezel right through here. And as you see, I haven't tested doing this yet, but that's okay. You can watch me. There it goes. you just about have to cut out the entire dash. There we go. Just about have to cut out the entire dash. Now, Max sends you a pattern. You can see here that you leave the wiper bracket, but you cut out everything else of the dash, right? We're going to come back to the dash in a minute. Now, this first episode is how to take the dash apart. You say, wow, I've already got it apart. Well, kind of. Now, remember, I told you that these dash panels are very, very brittle. This is a plastic panel. See, it's broken here. It's missing a piece here. This one's broken. Okay, this ABS plastic over the years has gotten extremely brittle. Now, my dash felt pretty good, and I decided to keep the original dash, refinish it and all that, but after I got it apart, I do have some damage here, right? So what I'm going to do in the next episode, we'll get into how to repair this dash. We're going to repair all these plastic pieces. We're going to use two-part epoxy glue. I'm going to repair all these pieces. And then I'm going to show you how I wired this dash. This is my own, this is a reconstruction of a Mac dash, because I'm using different gauges and different things. And so I'll show you all the things that I'm doing in here. At this point, if you want to get into your dash, understand this. It unscrews. The UAW built this thing. It will unscrew. This piece will come out. The back panel will come out. Now you say, well, mine's got this whole piece. What do? I can't get it out. Ah! Here's what you do. The problem is this lip will not pass the windshield. Okay? You see it does move just a little bit. Made out of plastic. So you're going to bring it up to it, and you're just going to hold it easy, oh, easy, just a little bit more, and it'll pop out. And it's going to scare you a little bit, because you rip that dash and you hear things break, it's a bad thing. But if you can just sneak it past one time and cut that off, now those troubles will be over. All right? So you've got your dash apart. You say, wow, what did I do? Don't worry about it. It's all color-coded. Now, if you get back to your original wiring, and we're going to talk about this on the next episode, certain color codes go to certain things. And if you know what they are, you just take them one at a time and you go from there. Right? So look, now we're in the dash. A lot of you guys wanting me to do this. And so we're in here. Too bad, I got to drive my coach here pretty soon. So we're going to need to get this back together. So you guys pull your dash apart and get ready to be fixing this. Go get some epoxy, two-part epoxy. I'm using Gorilla Glue, believe it or not. It's Ace Hardware, real simple to get. It's a two-part Gorilla Glue epoxy for plastics. Right? You get that stuff and be dreaming about what you think you want to do with your dash. If you have an original dash, okay, next episode, I'm going to show you some small things you can do to keep all the original gauges and things, but some things you can do to your dash to give you a little bit more access and put maybe one or two more gauges in that dash, right? If you have a Mac dash and you want to modify it to be able to do this kind of thing, I'll get hold of Mac and see if he can work up some of those 24-inch harness things that he made for me. And if yours doesn't have it, now, if it was one I did, it has a harness in it. It may be, you may have tighter wiring on the audio video system, because the audio video was put in after dash was all put together. Okay. Now, in my situation, my audio video plugs into this, and I've pre-wired it into the original and to some extra wiring, because this is a 73 coach. In 73, the speaker wires were what's called common ground. Each speaker was grounded. It had one wire to each speaker. Okay. Well, to get higher power and all this stuff, really all current day good radios are floating ground. In other words, you need 2 wires to each speaker, not just one. Well, my original coach was wired common ground. So what did I do? I ran a full set of wires, 1 pair of wires to each speaker. Okay. And you may want to do this, and we'll talk about this in the next episode. All right. If you're going to go to a new in-dash, old air or vintage air air conditioner system, when you get all this apart, now you've got, remember that access I told you don't take the dash apart? You have all this access in here. This comes out, your air ride control comes out, you can get all into here. And you can access the defroster vent assembly right there. Do a lot of things. With this dash open like it is, I left the dash open from the last video that we did about the glove box. So I left that open. So at the next episode, I'm going to show you how going in through here, access through here, you can get to everything you need to do inside that dash and not have to move that dash. If you're going to keep the original dash system, you're going to want to fix this. You're going to want to try to secure this back tighter. I'm going to do that. All right. And we'll do that on the next episode. All right, guys. Hope you learned a few things here. It looks scary, but it's not that bad. Really. You get in there, take your time. Again, in the last video, I said, wear loose clothes, be comfortable. Don't get in the sun. We made it. The sun's not going to burn us up. But you need to be comfortable, relaxed, loose clothes, because you may have to get up inside here and go over here, reach over here. If you have brogans on and big tight shirts and stuff, you can't get in there, right? And you need to be relaxed because you're going to be reconstructing pieces. Janie turned on PBS last night. We watched them reconstruct a church in France. What was the name? Notre Dame. Notre Dame. They were having to reconstruct something that was built, a long time ago. Well, this is only 50 years, but in motorhome years, 50 years, it's like the Notre Dame. We've got structural issues that we're going to have to deal with. It's not that difficult, especially when you have it all apart, right? Well, look, hope you learned something. Get your dashes apart if that's where we're going. If this works for you, think it's useful, go to YouTube and hit like and share, subscribe. Share it with your friends. Show them where you're learning your stuff. And if people are asking on Facebook about questions that you know that our database has information on, direct them to it, right? So this whole project, yeah, I'm taking the dash apart and I'm enjoying it and I'm showing you guys, and it's a lot of fun. But this whole project is to create a database so the future people will understand what to do in all this. And I appreciate all you guys helping me do that. All you ranch hands, if you think this is viable, check it out. And we'll see you on the next episode, and we're going to start fixing this dash. All right. See you then.